Good morning. Guess what day it is? It's September 26th. A couple of things going on today. It's National Dumpling Day and it's Lumberjack Day. A lumberjack is a person who cuts down trees. Lumberjacks, also known as loggers, perform several important tasks in the forest. Their main job is to fell trees, which means cutting them down, of course. After a tree is felled, they remove its branches in a process called limbing. Then they cut the long trunk into smaller, manageable pieces called logs. This is known as bucking. Once the logs are ready, lumberjacks or forestry workers move them out of the forest. This can involve dragging them with special machines called skidders or lifting them onto trucks with loaders. In the early days, lumberjacks relied on their strength and simple hand tools. Heavy axes were used to chop down trees and remove branches. There were also long saws which needed two people to operate them. They were called crosscut saws. They would pull the saws back and forth to cut through the tree. There were peaveys and cant hooks. These hooks were used to help them roll and move heavy logs. Today, of course, there are chainsaws. There are powerful gasoline-powered or sometimes electric saws used for felling limbs and bucking. They cut through the wood much faster than hand saws. There are feller bunchers. These large machines can cut down several trees at once. They gather the trees into piles and make the work very efficient. There are skidders. These vehicles are designed to drag logs out of the forest to a loading area. There are loaders, the machines with the strong arms and claws to lift the logs onto the truck. And modern lumberjacks also wear helmets, protective eyewear, hearing protection, and special clothing. In the 1800s and early 1900s, lumberjacking was extremely hard and dangerous work. Lumberjacks often lived in remote logging camps deep in the forest. These camps were basic, with simple bunkhouses and a cookhouse. Workers spent long hours cutting trees by hand, often in harsh weather conditions. They would then float the logs down the river to the sawmill during the spring-fall. After World War II, new technologies began to change the logging industry. Chainsaws became common, replacing the handsaw. Later, large machines were invented. These machines greatly increased how much wood could be harvested. Lumberjack sports, also known as timber sports, are competitions where athletes show off traditional logging skills. There's axe throwing, log rolling, sawing competitions, tree climbing, and chopping events. This reminds me of the story in 2 Kings 6, 1-6. It says, "And the sons of the prophets said to Elisha, 'See now, the place where we dwell with you is too small for us. Please let us go to the Jordan, and let every man take a beam from there, and let us make there a place where we may dwell.' So he answered, 'Go.' Then one said, 'Please consent to go with your servants.' And he answered, 'I will go.' So he went with them, and when they came to the Jordan, they cut down trees. But as one was cutting down a tree, the iron axe head fell into the water, and he cried out and said, 'Alas, master, for it was borrowed.' So the man of God said, 'Where did it fall?' And he showed him the place. So he cut off a stick and threw it in there, and he made the iron float." Wasn't that an amazing miracle? Elisha made the iron float. Well, lumberjacking is a very dangerous job. So if you decide today to participate in that job, make sure that you keep yourself safe.